Good morning, my name is Luigi Briguia from Engineering. I'm involved in the CAPSAR project, and in this presentation we will discuss about Authenticity and Preservation Orchestration Manager. We want to show you a best practice in order to address the preservation planning, which is a key entity and functionality in the OIS reference model and functional model. So, it's important to identify some key aspects, which are the authenticity protocols, how the change event can impact on the preservation of the digital object within the OIS archive, and how we can address the preservation planning by using some key components, how we'll see the authenticity and the orchestration. Giovanni Michetti has already shown in further details the authenticity model. It's not our intention now to discuss about all the authenticity model, but focusing on the aspect about event occurrences and event type, which can impact on a specific type of object, can corrupt and can create issues in the maintenance and in order to guarantee the authenticity within the OIS archive during the life cycle of the project. It's important to remark that one of the OIS mandatory responsibility is to follow documented policies and procedures which ensure that the information is preserved against all reasonable contingencies. So, the big question that we arise is, what do I have to do for preserving my digital content object and guarantee it could be used and understood in the future? So, while we discuss about which are the preservation steps, which is one of the most important aspects for preserving the object, we have to maintain within the digital archive the digital content object in order to be assessed, used and understood for whatever changes during its long-term life cycle. And that implies that any impacting change in the real world needs to be identified and notified to the responsible of the preservation in order to take into account the proper corrective actions according to the defined preservation plans. So, in practice, what we have to do is to notify change, perform corrective action according to the preservation plan, and then update the AIP and the PDI. Just to remark that the preservation is one of the key aspects in the OIS, and we can see which are the key activities that we need to do: monitor the designated community, monitor the technology, and develop preservation strategies and standards. In this slide, we can see one best practice that the CAPSAR project provides for addressing the preservation planning. And in particular, we see how the authenticity and the orchestration are involved. Mainly, the authenticity is involved in identification of authenticity protocols for specific object. The data curator is the person which has the role for monitoring and check up the specific object from event occurrences. When an event occurs, the data curator can notify the change event by using the orchestration manager. And the data preserver, which is the person which is subscribed for a specific event occurrence, can trigger or carry out a preservation activity according to the authenticity protocols already defined. Finally, again, we have the authenticity that can check and evaluate authenticity of maintained object. Just to remark how the key components works and their relationship with the OIS functional model, we can see that the orchestration and the authenticity tools work together, and they have roles between the preservation planning and the administration. And they are covering what we call the communication management aspect, together with the knowledge and the representation information registry. It's important to highlight that, as you can see in other training videos, that we have collected the evidence of the authenticity management. Other aspects which may be impacted from change events are the aspects related to the designated community. And in this perspective, we have also the knowledge management system, which may be involved together with the orchestration and the authenticity in managing changes for the designated community. And finally, but is not the less important, is the security management, because in some cases changes may be impacted, may impact on the user account, role, profile, and security aspect. So these components, the data access management system, the DRM, and the authenticity can work together in order to trace this change. So finally, I want to thank you for your kind attention, and we invite you to stay tuned on two interesting websites, which are the developer website that we are maintaining in the developers CAPSAR service and the SourceForge. Thank you.